First of all, good afternoon, and a warm welcome to everyone that's here today. My name is Jerry Bly, and I serve as Vice President on the SMSU Foundation Board of Directors. I'm a 71 alum of SMSU. That means I could be a grandparent to most of you. But to start off with, a total of 6 Southwest stories this afternoon. I'd like to take a few minutes to share my Southwest story with you. And I was not a son of helicopter parents. Do any of you students have helicopter parents? Well, a recent gathering of a provost told a story about receiving a mid-morning call from a mother asking if her son was in class. "I always give my son a wake-up call," the mother explained, "but he's not answering." Well, the provost, who was at the time a dean at the time of this experience, told the concerned mother he could not inform parents if their adult students are not in class. "Student," the mother exclaimed, "no, he's teaching the class." I'm guessing none of you scholarship recipients have helicopter parents, and I'm guessing that you probably leave your mark on this university as being very independent. So my SMSU story began in the fall of 1968. I transferred here after 1 year at Augustana College, and my first impressions were, wow, everything here was new. And construction during the period of my tenure here was never ending. The faculty and staff were unbelievably welcoming, caring, and engaged. We as students, I think we sort of had a pioneer spirit about us because we really had set out on doing something new. You know, all the things that we did at that time, there was no historical background. So when we designed the student senate or whatever those things were, they were new directions. A lot of us were first generation, excuse me, higher ed students, and for me, this was really a special time in a wonderful place. The SMSU campus years from 68 to 71 had a lasting impact on me. The greatest impact probably was finding my life's partner, Ricky, and I think we just celebrated 47 years together. And she's a 73 grad, and we met as RAs in the residence hall. So we worked next door to each other and got to know each other very well. And we married in 1970, and I graduated in 71. So it was a December 26th wedding. And when that all came up, we were going to get married in the spring and June. We decided to make it December 26th of that December, and my father-in-law says, "Is there anything else you want to tell me?" Quite honestly, nothing, no. We have 2 children, Eric and Megan. Eric graduated from here, and Eric's married to Erica, who graduated from here. And they live in Marshall, and very active at SMSU. And our daughter Megan spent a couple years here and then decided she wanted to be a nurse. So that's kind of the background of my history. But actually, while I was here, I learned to think for myself. And I also learned to question things that went on in the world. And I still do. If you look back historically, at that time, our country was engaged in a very divisive and controversial war. We all lost our innocence through the violent acts of assassination, protest, and dissent. But we did see hope. We landed Apollo 11 on the moon. Excuse me. And all in all, SMSU was a safe place for us to study, to learn, to engage, discuss, debate, and we also and talk about the present and the future. Well, you 5 young scholarship recipients are building your own SMSU stories. I'm anxious to hear about them. And when your chapter at SMSU closes, I hope you will, as Confucius said, choose a job you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life. And I think that's a great statement. One piece of recommended reading, because I know you all have a lot of time to read. Maria Shriver wrote a book. She wrote it in 2000. She gave the 98 commencement address at Holy Cross. And her book is 10 Things I Wish I Had Known Before I Went Out into the Real World. Recommended reading because it talks about finding a job with passion. It talks about finding your passion. It talks about the fact that no job is beneath you. And there's 8 other points. So take the book, read it, and it'll help you as you move forward in your life. Okay, and as a graduate of this university, I left prepared to grow professionally, to accept and embrace change, and I lived with a lot of change over my career. And I also learned to show concern for the well-being of others and care about the results that happen to them. My SMSU experience built the foundation for my 40-plus years, my career in agribusiness and the industry. And I was blessed with the opportunity to work with some great ag companies. The last one was BASF. And when you read Maria Shriver's book, it talks about who you work for as well. And that was a great company to work for. And during my career in the corporate world, I engaged with peers who graduated from many large and recognized institutions. You will find, as I did, that an SMSU grad has the skills to compete on any stage. It truly is up to you as an individual. So as you become graduates in 1, 2, or 3 years, we hope you remember the Mustang family, and we'll want to give back. You're the reason that Ricky and I continue to support SMSU. So your stories will change, and we will be waiting to hear from you in the future as we wait for your stories today. And I thank you. Now, sidebar, go Mustangs. Okay, now this is really why we're here today. We're here to recognize the outstanding students who have been awarded scholarships through Friends of the Institution, the work of the SMSU Foundation, and all who helped make each one of those scholarships possible. Each student's name appears in your program. Rather than read their name aloud, will all of our scholarship recipients please stand at this time? For each one of you who has received a scholarship, please remember that someone cared. They cared enough about SMSU, its mission, and most importantly, the students of Southwest to make your scholarship possible. Now, next I'd like to ask the following people to stand as we thank them for their generosity and support to SMSU Foundation. The board members of the SMSU Foundation. Faculty and staff. Right. Community members. That's all of you, right? And certainly last but not least, please, the families of our scholarship recipients stand. Well, we welcome you all to this celebration. Our hope is that at the end of this program you will have met someone new and had ample opportunity to speak with a number of the scholarship recipients. Each one of us in this room has a story to share about SMSU. At this time, I'd like to just share for a moment the SMSU Foundation story. So the SMSU Foundation Board of Directors shares their sincere gratitude and congratulations with all of you. With your help, SMSU and the SMSU Foundation together awarded nearly 2,000 scholarships this school year. Last school year. The foundation received over $3 million in contributions from close to 4,000 people, including alumni, parents and families, faculty and staff, businesses, corporations, and friends every school year. Further information can be found on the SMSU in the SMSU fact booklets on your tables. With these statistics, while these statistics are important, the most impressive piece of the Foundation's work is the students we serve. Together, we will hear from 5 scholarship recipients as they share their Southwest story with you. It will become quite apparent how invested and active these students truly are. They have taken their academics very seriously while involved in other aspects of the Southwest experience. Their leadership is an example to the entire campus. They represent all of our very deserving scholarship recipients. And so our first speaker is Mr. Trey Sachs. Trey is in his freshman year, major in exercise science, and he is the son of Chuck and Carol Sachs. Please welcome Trey Sachs.
I want to start off by thanking all of you for joining us today. Every one of you has done an amazing part in making SMSU such an amazing university that many students like myself now call home. My journey to Southwest Minnesota State is a little unique from many of my peers. I'm not from the state of Minnesota. I'm from a suburb west of Omaha, 4 hours south on Interstate 29. As I started my college search, I knew I wanted to get away from home, plant my own roots, write my own stories, and ultimately pursue my passions. Southwest came to me during the football recruiting process, and when I came on my official visit, I was able to sense of the family atmosphere that was around the university. I could feel everyone's desire to help their students achieve their goals, and ultimately, I could imagine myself getting involved in the university and community. I knew I would not just be a number here, but I could excel. Since I moved onto campus, I've only been here 6 months, but I've had an awesome opportunity to get involved. I'm a member of the SMSU football team, exercise science club, a Mustang reader at Holy Redeemer, and a participant in the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I also had the wonderful opportunity to receive hands-on learning in the physical therapy clinic that we hold on campus. Football has given me an awesome opportunity to get involved with my teammates and have a positive influence on the community. The friendships I have developed in the first 6 months that I've been here have been second to none. I have gained many valuable relationships that will push me, assist me, and aid me in any part of my future as we continue. But none of this would be possible without my SMSU football foundation scholarships and my football scholarships. Like many of my fellow students, I would not be able to afford all the fees and tuition and room and board that goes along with the college experience. SMSU Foundation scholarships have allowed me to focus on succeeding as a student and in the classroom, rather than wondering how to pay for my next semester. Being rewarded for the long nights and stressful days throughout high school and college is really gratifying. Between my grades and test scores, I was rewarded scholarships that greatly reduced my cost of attendance. The private donors and foundations have impacted my future greatly because I won't have to worry about the debt once I leave. My future dreams are far more attainable now without the burden of undergraduate college debt. Following my time here at SMSU, I want to pursue a master's degree in physician assistant studies so I can give back to the community every wonderful opportunity they have given me. After earning my master's, I want to specialize as an orthopedic PA so I can serve athletes and cling on to my passion for sports and performance. I can't thank you all enough for making today happen. Because of your generosity and commitment, I can continue to pursue my goals and dreams. Our second speaker tonight is Marlon Cervantes Torres, a junior from Marshall, Minnesota. Marlon's major is public relations. Her mother is Amparo Cervantes. Please welcome Marlon Cervantes Torres.
Good afternoon. I have always been a firm believer that the condition of your birth should not determine the outcome of your life. I was born in Mexico to a single mother who only made it to the 6th grade due to the financial burden that school brought on her parents. Having to choose between educating or feeding their children, my grandparents chose the obvious. My mother brought my two siblings and I to the United States when I was 18 months old in hopes of giving us a better future, education, and life than she had received. I grew up in a humble home full of love, despite the limited time spent with my mother due to her tiresome work schedule. Unlike my mother, I was fortunate enough to receive an affordable, quality education. I graduated from Marshall High School. I was the second of my siblings to graduate high school and the first now to attend college. As I walked across the stage to receive my diploma, I was daunted by the insecurity of continuing my education due to the financial hardship that I faced. My mother instilled in me the importance of hard work and the power of investing in my education. Because I'm ineligible for financial aid and student loan options, it took me a couple years to work my way, and it took me a couple years and a couple jobs to save up for my first semester of college. Although I was able to cover my first semester costs here at SMSU, the thought of there being a next semester was not guaranteed. It was a challenge, to say the least. I had to juggle a full-time student class schedule plus a full-time job plus a part-time job. But thankfully, due to donations like yours, this year I received a scholarship that has allowed me to continue my education and has taken a lot of weight off of my shoulders. During my time here at SMSU, I've been involved in a theater production, forensics club, Club Latino, Political Science Association, and recently College Democrats. I work in the exercise science department, the speech center, and the call center here on campus, plus HSI off of campus. Now I know it sounds like a lot, but promise me the scholarship. Without the scholarship, it would have been worse. And perhaps my greatest involvement as an SMSU student has been my internship that I completed last semester for the U.S. Senate. I graduate in May of next year, God willing, with a major in public relations and a minor in political science. And my future is still in the air. Beggars can't be choosers, so I'll probably take any job offer that I get after I graduate. But my goal is to land a job in a congressional office as part of the communications team, similar to that of my internship experience. I was asked to speak about why I chose SMSU, but as cheesy as this may sound, I believe SMSU chose me. With its affordability, quality, and location, it was the best and most convenient choice for me. Perhaps the only accessible choice I had. With time, I grew to love the campus, my classes, the community, my professors, and their accessibility. And I would choose SMSU again in a heartbeat. I have always believed that the condition of your birth should not determine the outcome of your life. Thanks to scholarships made possible by your donations, students' lives are being changed right here, right now, regardless of their background. Thank you for your contributions, whether they be monetary or not. They truly make a difference in the lives of students like me. Education is the most valuable investment. So thank you so much for helping me continue to invest in mine. So our third speaker today is Hannah Beacom. Hannah is a junior from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. She's majoring in marketing, and her parents are Dan Beacom and Ann Roman. Please welcome Hannah Beacom.
Good afternoon, everybody. So today I am going to be talking about what home means to me, because I feel like when people hear the word home, they think about the place that they were born and raised, where their family is, and yes, that is home, but home is also another meaning. And I found that out when I came to SMSU last year. I was born and raised in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and I graduated from high school in 2015. And then after that, I went to South Dakota State University for my first year. And I was honestly really worried to go there. It was close to home, but that meant that a lot of people from my hometown would be there, and I was not very thrilled about that. Everyone that I talked to reassured me, oh, there won't be that many people there. Like, you won't see them all the time. It'll be fine. I still don't believe that. It is not true. I saw them everywhere. And that made it feel really hard for me to really branch out and be a new person in college like everyone is hoping for. So I decided that I would transfer, and it was actually the best decision of my life. I decided I was transferring, I knew where I was going, super excited I was going to go to Augie. Thrilled. But then a week before classes started, my mom was like, let's go check out Southwest Minnesota State University. You've mentioned it before, won't hurt anything. Let's just go check it out. So, August 15th, 2017, came to Marshall, Minnesota, went on my first college visit here. They actually did not have any visit days or tours or anything that day. I had to call and ask if I could come on a tour because it was so close to the school year starting. Well, they got me in, I went on a tour, came to Marshall, my mom's alma mater, and my whole tour she walked around, go Mustangs, woo, go Mustangs! But this whole time I kept talking about Augie. I was so excited to go to Augie, I could not wait. But then some point along my tour, I fell in love with Southwest. I don't know when. I have no idea. It just happened. But I remember at the end of my tour, we were done, and I said to my tour guide, I want to go see that building. It was Sweetland, the new dorms. I just wanted to check it out. And he goes, oh, I don't have a key to get in there. We can't go in there. And I was like, well, I want to go anyway, because I'm stubborn, and I wanted to see it. So we went to Sweetland, and there just happened to be two girls that were there over the summer for soccer, and they walked in, and my mom goes, hey, can we just check out your room really quick? Like, we're on a tour, we just want to see what it's like. And they're like, oh, yeah, sure. Checked it out. Now, my tour guide knew that I was dead set. I was going to Augie. I was just here to check it out. And I was standing in their dorm room, and I turned to him, and I said, if you can get me a room in Sweetland, I'm going to come here. This will be the determining factor. Because I came here knowing that I needed a sign that I wasn't supposed to go to Augie, because I was dead set. And so he called over to the Res Life office, and they found a room for me in Sweetland. And I said, I'm coming here. So we went back to his office. I signed my housing contract. A couple days later, I came back and registered for classes. And then the night before classes, I moved in. Yes, very last minute decision, but it was the best decision of my life. I came here, I didn't know anybody, and it was wonderful. I completely started over, and I knew I was a little bit shy, kind of reserved. I knew that I would have to force myself to really get out of my room and get involved. So within the first couple of weeks, I met almost everyone on my floor in Sweetland. I got a job at the Y. I joined Student Activities Committee, and I found an intramural volleyball team. I didn't really want to miss out on anything. And then about a month later for homecoming, my family ended up coming back to Marshall because my mom was receiving an award. And that was when I met Stacy Frost. And that is when everything at Southwest changed. My mom was talking to her, Hannah needs a job. She needs a job really bad. And Stacy goes, oh, I have a job at the foundation. Well, I still work there a year and a half later. Everyone at the foundation has actually really helped make Marshall feel like home to me. They are like a second family to me, everyone that I work with. They're always asking how my day is. They always say they just want what's best for me. I just feel they make this like home, and I really appreciate them. You know, it's actually kind of funny. I work for the foundation. Last year, my boss, Eric, asked me if I could work at the scholarship luncheon, and this year Stacy asked if I would speak at it. So it's kind of funny how things work. Yes, so I have gotten very close with Stacy. I have told probably everyone, maybe Stacy once or twice, that she is my mom away from my own mom. She is my mom in Marshall. She's who I go to if I'm having a rough day, if I was having trouble with my roommate last year, just go in and chat. So it has been great. Last year, her and my mom both actually convinced me to apply to be an RA. What would it hurt? So I did, and here I am. I am an RA now in Sweetland, and I just found out that I will be a senior resident assistant next year. thanks to their little push to get me to apply. So coming to SMSU, it really helped me branch out and become the person that I have always wanted to be. I had no idea what I wanted to study. I was all across the board with ideas. But I came here last year and took a marketing class with Denise Goshner. She asked me to say her name very loud, Denise Goshner. She couldn't be here today. I took her Principles of Marketing class last year, and I fell in love with marketing. I think mostly because she's the sassiest person I have ever met. So class is never boring. So I am majoring in marketing, and since making that decision, I have joined the SMSU American Marketing Association, our marketing club here on campus, and I am now the co-president of that organization. My favorite thing about SMSU actually is how small it is. I hear a lot of complaints that it's tiny, you know everyone, but I love that. I came from SDSU where I had classes in lecture halls of over 200 people. And my professors had no idea who I was. I'd go to their office and they would say, okay, first and last name, what class are you in, what section, and that was it. Here, I can be at Walmart and I will see a professor and run into them and they'll come up and give me a hug. Or my professor, Denise, will have, she's our advisor for AMA, she'll have our whole AMA club over to her house for a movie night or a game night. So it is just a world of a difference to me and I love it. Being able to come to SMSU has greatly, my financial burden has been greatly lifted from my shoulders because of the scholarships that are offered. I get a scholarship for being an RA, and then along with that I received the Business Administration Scholarship through the foundation. And it really helps with me not having to worry about debt. I am so close to getting out of here debt-free. I have 1 year left, and these scholarships are what make that possible. I'm not really sure what I want to do after I graduate. It's my least favorite question. But I am hoping to either work for an ad agency and work on the digital media advertising side of things, or work for a little bit bigger of a corporation like Target and help with their operational blueprint to help maximize sales on products and kind of decide where products should be placed in the store. So looking back at how my life has changed, going from Sioux Falls to SDSU and Brookings. When I was at SDSU, home was still Sioux Falls. It was the place. Sioux Falls was my home. I didn't want to be in Brookings. But now coming to SMSU, Sioux Falls is still my home, but when I'm home it just doesn't feel like it because my home is with all the people here at SMSU. Marshall is not my favorite place, but the people are my favorite, and that's what makes this feel like home. It is almost impossible to describe the feeling of peace and happiness that I can feel being here, and it is all thanks to the countless opportunities, memories, and friendships that I have made while being at SMSU. I will forever be thankful that I decided to come to SMSU 1 week before classes started, and I will forever be thankful for everyone here that makes this feel like home. Thank you. Our fourth speaker is Josh Benning, a junior from Crystal Lake, Illinois. His major is also marketing and maybe hunting. Seems more like it's hunting. Josh's parents are Greg and Janet Benning. Please welcome Josh.
Thank you, Nana. So, like I said, my name is Josh Benning. I am a senior from Crystal Lake, Illinois, and for all you Minnesotans, yes, the S is silent. I had to correct enough of you while I was here. But the main reason why I chose SMSU is my family is originally from Minnesota. My grandma grew up in Slayton, my mom grew up in Prior Lake, and my dad grew up in Bloomington. My dad's work moved him to the Chicagoland suburbs back before I was born, so I had to grow up in Illinois, away from my family, and I kind of wanted to come back to where all my in-laws are from and just get to know them and get to know the great state of Minnesota. So that's why I picked Minnesota as a state I knew I wanted to go to school for. And once I picked my state, it was kind of narrowed down to Division II schools because I'm a track athlete at this school, and I know I wasn't good enough to be at the U of M, but I still wanted to participate at the Division II level of sports. So I was looking at like Concordia, Mankato, St. Cloud, Bemidji, And my dad sent me this email like, hey, how about you check out Southwest Minnesota State University? And I was like, that's basically South Dakota. Like, I was so confused. I was like, all my family's in the north, on the east side of town. Why would I go to the west side? He's like, just check it out. You know, once we go, if you don't like it, you don't have to go back. And I was like, all right, cool. We went. This was the first school we went to because we kind of did a big move. We went to 5 schools in 3 days and put on about 2,000 miles in our vehicles as we were looking at schools up here. And I got here, and at the time, Nate Wolf was the head track coach, and really great guy. They said I didn't get to throw for him while I was here. And the hour that we talked about me, he talked about me as an individual. And I knew I wanted a coach that was going to treat me like an individual and not like just another athlete. So I was like, after we left, I was like, Dad, I don't know who's going to compete with this school because that coach was awesome. And he's like, yeah, and the price, they don't charge out-of-state tuition, so that's always a plus too. So my dad was happy because the out-of-state tuition was waived, and I was happy because I really enjoyed the track coach at the time. And so with that, like I said, my involvement at the school has been primarily track and field. Last year as a sophomore, I was blessed to earn all conference honors in both my academics and my athletic achievements. So that was a huge blessing of mine. I also, just this semester, started up the University Sportsman's Association Club again. That was down for a while. So with that, we've done 2 shoots out at Shooters, shooting sporting clays. So anyone out there who wants to shoot, come find me after and I'll get you hooked up. We had 30 kids come to our last shoot for the Super Bowl, so that was really encouraging and really exciting to see. I mean, one of the things I really enjoy about being at Marshall is my part-time job, because being a student athlete takes up so much time. I can only have a part-time job, is that I work at the campus call center. And the reason I love this job so much is I've been blessed with so many scholarships from this school. It's great to talk to those that are giving the scholarships and thank them personally, and just get to hear their story and just to hear how they had their experiences here at Southwest and be able to share with them. So it's really been a true blessing to have that job and call that my job. I look forward to going there every night when I get to work. I think one thing that sets Southwest apart from other universities, like Hannah was saying earlier, is the teachers we have here on campus. When I was thinking about colleges and when I was thinking about universities, I figured, like Hannah was saying, we're just going to be a number, just going to be someone who goes, turns in my grades, I'm the teacher's paychecks. And that's not been the case since I've been here. Almost all my professors have known me on a first-name basis, and I as well know them on a first-name basis. One professor I want to point out, which is the same as Hannah pointed out, is Professor Denise Gauchner. What Hannah didn't say is she's originally from Jamaica, so her sassiness has that Jamaican feel to it, and she thinks it's crazy that I'm a redneck and that I love to hunt. And it's funny because she's like, "You eat that stuff, right?" And so over the semester, I have gotten her to try pheasant. And we're slowly working towards the more gamier meats like duck and deer. So hopefully by the time I graduate, I'll have Denise trying all the different local birds and animals that we can harvest down here in Southwest Minnesota. But there's a quote or a song for all you country singers out there by Tim McGraw called "Humble and Kind." And I really like this song because one of the verses in the song is where you get where you're going, don't forget to turn back around and help the next one in line. Always stay humble and kind. And for me, there's a lot of people and a lot of different situations that have gotten to me to where I am today. And it's my joy to be able to be on the pedestal that I am and be able to give back to the community. Since I've been here for 3 years, track has given me a lot of opportunities to give back to Marshall, Minnesota. One of the things we do every fall is a highway cleanup. So as you're going out on 23 south of town, you'll see that SMSU track and field, or SMSU Athletics has a section of the road that we clean. So last fall, for the last 3 years, I've been able to do that. As well as track and field has given me the opportunity to do Mustang Mail with the local elementary schools. And with that, we've been able to go over to the schools actually and play with the kids on the playground and read to them in their classrooms. And that's been a really fun and joyous opportunity for me. And probably one thing I enjoy the most about giving back is I go to church at Living Word Lutheran Church, and for the last 2 years, I've been a small group leader at the high school there, and being able to give back to those high school kids when college kids gave back to me when I was in high school has just been a real blessing. And just like I said in the song, being able to turn back around and help the next one in line has been a true blessing. And another way is being in the hunting community. I love helping out at any hunting events or any stuff like that that goes on in Southwest Minnesota State University. For instance, this fall, we had the governor's shoot here at Marshall. So being able to volunteer at that was a blast. That was actually where I met Stacy for the first time. And after chatting with her and picking on her a little bit during the banquet, she's like, hey, we've got this scholarship luncheon coming up in the spring. You want to come to it? And there's free food. And I was like, well, I'm a college kid, so free food, of course. And she's like, oh yeah, and by the way, I want you to speak. I got to go. So having her sneak that in there, I was thinking about it. I wasn't quite sure, but she convinced me, and obviously I'm here now. But one thing I really want to say is, so far I've been able to go through school debt-free, and these scholarships play a huge part in why that is possible. And thanks to these scholarships, they've helped me stay focused on the items I've listed above, and just be involved in a wide range of activities. I don't think I could have such a diverse college experience and be able to get through school debt-free without these scholarships. So for all of you who have donated, I personally want to thank you, and your gifts are greatly appreciated by each and every one of the students here on campus, and on behalf of the student body, I thank you. And just to say that your gifts aren't going to nothing, we've been learning on return on investment in a couple of my classes. So your guys' return on investment for me is I'm blessed being a junior to look at internship opportunities. So I will have an internship this summer, at Titan Machinery in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, which I'm really looking forward to putting the stuff I've learned in my classes into practice, as well as learning from people who have so much more experience from me. And then for the future, like I said, I'm a big outdoors guy, so somehow I can correlate my marketing major with the outdoors. That would be a perfect life for me. So once again, thank you so much for everyone who's donated, and enjoy the rest of your night. Our next speaker is Michael Dobrisky, a senior from Portland, Oregon. Michael is a major in psychology, and Michael's father is Paul Dombrowski. Please welcome Michael.
Dombrowski is Polish, it's hard, I understand. Anyway, coming to SMSU was one of the best decisions I've ever made. I came to this school and the state not really knowing what to expect. I saw the virtual tour online and I kind of figured that was probably enough. I didn't even bother with the visitation day. I showed up through registration and the rest is history. I really found SMSU through a college search for somewhere that was kind of cold, cheap, and out of state. And I definitely got that. I came in and I was thinking, I could probably get by with just shorts for winter. Don't really need pants. And not really true. -4 degrees Fahrenheit wasn't exactly the Minnesota nice I was expecting. But what I can say is I definitely made the right choice. I came into college with the understanding that I would have to pay for everything myself. And after the economic recession back in like 2008 or so, if I'm wrong, my bad, my parents were still kind of struggling to finish out payments for my high school education. So I knew if I was going to attend college, I'd have to pay for everything kind of myself, and I'd have to be very financially and academically responsible. So I came to SMSU really knowing that it would snow and that there was a psych program here. And with one semester left, I can confidently say that I've been here. My first year, I laid my roots through the theater department, and I acted on stage and I worked backstage, helping where I could. My second year, I branched out into the residence life department, being hired as an RA, and I found myself yet another family there. I was even fortunate enough to help out with the forensics team on campus, and I got to travel across Minnesota to hear a wide variety of speeches about topics you probably couldn't even imagine. And along with the incredible social science department and their curriculum for their majors and their minors, I felt at home here. Student loans probably covered about half of my total cost to attend SMSU as an on-campus student, and the rest has been from my employment or from scholarships. And there's always that cliche statement that you should apply for any scholarship no matter how big or small or how unlikely, but it really is true. At my summer job, I worked at a movie theater and I probably got maybe $500 or so a month, and something like $500 may seem kind of like small in the grand scheme of things, but even something like that is at least 1 month less that I would have to work to pay to continue my education. And I stand here now ready to graduate in May with honors and as a member of 3 separate honor societies. I've applied to graduate programs for clinical mental health so I could become a counselor someday. And that being said, I never would have imagined that I would have these opportunities presented to me. And I count myself lucky that I've been able to attend this school and have the opportunities presented to me that I did. But one thing that's really important to remember is that I could not have done this alone. To all those who provide scholarships to allow people like me to continue that education, thank you very much. I truly could not have done this without your generosity and your kindness. The contributions made toward the financial accessibility for a quality education like this really do influence student success. Essays and group projects are kind of enough stress to manage without thinking about the money you're putting towards being stressed from those. So I came to SMSU not really knowing what was going to happen. Would I make any lifelong friends? Would I kind of know what I'm going to do with my life? And would double-digit weather ever return? 4 years later, I leave SMSU with a bunch of academic achievements, plenty of on-campus participation, and a newfound respect for jeans and hot dish. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Bill Malso. I'm Vice President for Advancement here at SMSU and the Foundation Executive Director. Trey, Marlon, Hannah, Josh, Michael, thank you. Thank you for sharing your stories. This is why I enjoy working here so much, and this is why we do what we do. So thank you for sharing those. There's a theme here. Hannah, Jerry, that theme, friends don't let friends go to Augie. And I do have to add, Hannah is true. She does have a family looking out over her. We're screening all potential boyfriends, so. And she can share stories on that, so. Well, while we've heard our student stories, I'm fortunate today to stand up here and tell you another story about a donor that helped make some scholarships here at Southwest possible. And so I want to share a little story with you about Leanne Tolk. I'm going to read this, and we've been doing this for a number of years, and this story continues to move me every time I hear it. So if you would allow me, please, I want to read this to you. Leanne Tolk was born on March 10th, 1949, to Anna Marie Broderson Tolk and Leonard F. Tolk in Hendricks, Minnesota. She was the second of 6 children and grew up on a family farm not far from Elkton, South Dakota. Leanne helped on the farm with various outdoor chores and other housework duties, often preparing the family meals. Her help was needed as her mother was working as a beautician both at home and at a salon in Elkton, South Dakota. Leanne attended a small rural school, Parnell District No. 9, during her early grade school years until its closing. She then completed her education and graduated from Elkton Public High School in 1967. She was an active participant in various extracurricular activities, including band, chorus, and cheerleading. Leanne was an accomplished marimba player and played the instrument throughout her life. After high school graduation, Leanne went to work at the University of Minnesota and then on to 3M in Brookings, South Dakota, where she met her future spouse, Rob Copeland. Eventually, they both took jobs at the 3M World Headquarters in St. Paul, where Leanne worked until her retirement at age 61. She held various positions with the company. She was a demand management specialist with the abrasives division, as well as a business process management specialist, and she often traveled extensively to Asia to assist and guide inventory controls. Leanne and Rob did not have any children, but were always involved in the upbringing and welfare of their nieces and nephews. One nephew recalls, Rob and Leanne were down-to-earth, good people. They were caretakers, the type that would make sure that you had mittens instead of toys. They were always willing to teach and show you new things. Leanne passed away just 1 week after her 67th birthday in March of 2010. Leanne's desire upon her death, however, was to establish a scholarship fund to afford deserving students the opportunity to get the education that she so valued, but didn't get the chance herself to complete. Before I announce the 2018 recipients of the Leanne Tolk Scholarship, I'd like to invite Nicole MD to come forward. Nicole was one of our Leanne Tolk Scholarship recipients this last year, and she has agreed to share a few words on behalf of those recipients. Nicole's a junior, majoring in elementary education. She's the daughter of Steve and Lorraine MD from Corral, Minnesota. Please welcome Nicole.
As Bill had mentioned, my name is Nicole Emdy. I am a junior, and I'm majoring in elementary education and a minor in reading. So SMSU, where you belong, is a place that makes you feel comfortable and welcome as soon as you step foot in the door. The students and faculty at SMSU make you feel right at home. This place will change your life, and it has changed my life in many ways that I will never forget. You will grow into a well-rounded individual who will be ready to take on the world after you graduate from SMSU. So during my junior year of high school, I was convinced I wasn't going to a four-year college because I had a different career in mind. But that all changed during the summer before my senior year of high school. I wanted to pursue a career that would allow me to inspire kids to be the best person possible. I spent the summer looking online through colleges in Minnesota, so I decided to look at SMSU first. I had known about SMSU because my cousin had attended when it was SSU, so I had known about the college in Marshall for a long time. I knew I wanted to attend a college that was small and had small class sizes since my hometown has a population of 20 and I graduated with a class size of 37. SMSU is only an hour and 20 minutes away, so it was close to home, but far enough away to have my own space. When my senior year started, I decided to attend the first college visit that SMSU offered. When I was on tour with the SMSU student ambassador, I knew that this is where I was going to spend my next 4 years of college. I applied to SMSU that same day, and then I received my acceptance letter a few days later, and I was going to be attending SMSU in the fall of 2015. I have been a student since that day. On campus, I'm currently involved in EMSP, or the Education Minnesota Student Program. This club is for all education majors. It's for education majors, but all majors are welcome. I attend monthly meetings as much as I can, since being a junior in the education department is very demanding. I have volunteered during 4th grade visit days, as well as helped out during the homecoming parade. By working at the SMSU McFarland Library through my work-study job, I have had the opportunity to assist students, faculty, and community members by checking out books and helping out with different tasks at the library. I have had the opportunity to talk with them and learn about their story and experiences about the Marshall community. It has been interesting to learn about the different people who live in Marshall and how SMSU has impacted their life. The faculty, students, and alumni want to see current students be able to succeed by providing them numerous scholarships. Last year, my biology professor sent an email to the whole class about a scholarship opportunity. So I decided I'll apply for it. Didn't think anything would happen about it. Then a couple weeks later, got an email saying I was nominated for the Leanne Polk Scholarship. So I came to the scholarship luncheon last year, and then I got surprised that I was one of the recipients of the scholarship, which was a very big success. I would like to thank everyone who made it possible for myself and the other Leanne Polk Scholarship recipients to receive this scholarship. I would like to thank everyone who made it possible, especially Dr. Sandy Craner for nominating me and the committee for selecting me. I'd also like to thank the Leanne Polk family for providing students the opportunity to receive this scholarship. It means a lot. By receiving this scholarship, I had less financial stress this school year. I was very fortunate enough to go through my junior year without having to take out any loans. I have also had the opportunity to receive the Schwann's Academic Scholarship and the Alice Scholarship. My family doesn't have a lot of money, so receiving this scholarship was a relief for my parents and myself as well. Even though I won't be graduating SMSU with no debt, I'll still have that less burden because of these scholarships. My future plans are to finish up my college classes in the fall, and then I'll be student teaching in the spring of 2019, somewhere close to home to save money, obviously. After I graduate from SMSU, I will apply for my license to be an elementary teacher and apply for a reading licensure as well. This is what I've planned out so far, but things can change in a matter of a few years. I plan on going to graduate school a couple years after I secured a teaching position. I once again would like to thank everyone who has impacted my life in so many ways. Mom and Dad, thank you so much for raising me these last 20 years. You two are the reason who I am today. I am so thankful to have very supportive people in my life and for helping me be who I am today. I am so thankful to have very supportive people in my life and help me keep going and to never give up. I never thought a small town girl whose hometown has a population of 20 and who lives on a farm in western rural Minnesota would receive a scholarship like this. Once again, I appreciate Stacy and the members of the foundation for letting me talk about how this scholarship has impacted my life. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to invite to the front to help award this year's scholarships, Dr. Connie Gorse, president of SMSU, Leanne's nephew Colby and his wife Kayla, and their son BJ, if they would join us on stage. Our recipients this year were nominated by the faculty and staff of SMSU and were selected by a committee of SMSU Foundation board members based on academic achievement, participation in campus and community activities, and work ethic. Additional consideration is also given to those who are first-generation college students and or have overcome extraordinary personal, financial, or academic challenges to achieve his or her success. At this time, I'd like to ask all of the nominees for the Tolk Scholarship this year to please stand, if you would. This year, we are excited because we will be awarding 6 $5,000 scholarships this year. Our winners this year, and if you would please join us up on stage, Hallie Will from Windham, Minnesota. Faduma Ismail from Marshall, Minnesota. Madison Stroutman from Medford, Minnesota. Easton Popma from Dawson, Minnesota. Tawny Schlegel from Marshall, Minnesota. And Emily Williamson from Dawson, Minnesota. How about a nice round of applause for all of our winners and nominees this year. And we'll get more pictures afterwards. Yes, go ahead now. As we close this afternoon celebration, I'd like to ask President Gorse to say a few words to wrap up today's program. President?
Thank you, Bill. Wow. This has been a wonderful afternoon. This is one of my favorite events of the entire year. And it's one of my favorite events because of what it represents for all of us and all of us here at the university. Today we see the results of all the hard work, determination, support, dedication, and kindnesses and generosity all in one place. Today would not be possible were it not for all the family members who supported these students over the years, who are still supporting these students, who are behind them in every way. Today wouldn't be possible were it not for all the faculty members who challenge these students, who see in them things they don't even see in themselves, and you help them set high goals and work hard and reach their dreams. Today wouldn't be possible were it not for all of our staff members. I bet it sounds like Stacy's a real driver in all this stuff, but it's staff members and other support members of our community who are behind these students and supporting them and really helping them be the best they can be. Today wouldn't be possible were it not for all of our community members who support SMSU, and who are here with us every step of the way. And finally, today wouldn't be possible were it not for all of you who have so graciously given of your time, your treasures, and your talents. All of you donors. It wouldn't be possible to be with these group of students in this environment and knowing that you have made a difference through your generosity and your support of the university. And today wouldn't be possible for the entire Mustang family. We heard a lot about it today. We heard about what it means to feel like you're at home here. We heard about what it means to be part of a family, to have your own family of origin, but to have your Mustang family as well. Today we heard about, from these remarkable young people who I know everyone else, all the other students, who are here today have stories almost equally as compelling, if not as compelling, as these students. Students, you inspire us, you challenge us, you help us be better people, you remind us, you remind us of why we're here. You're the reasons we're here. You are the reason that we do what we do every single, every single day. This means a lot to me. I was struck by how every single one of you students has gotten out of your comfort zone. Every one of you has learned about what it means to be part of the Mustang family by being involved in your classes, being good students. It takes a lot of work. Where's Mr. Dombrowski? It takes a lot of, there you are, sir. It takes a lot of work to be part of several different honors organizations. And you don't get there by being in the back of the room. You get there by stepping up and being part of your student experience and being involved with those faculty members and taking on the challenges they provide. The rest of you students as well, I know you're good students. All of you are involved outside the classroom as well. You work in jobs. You're in RAs, you're in clubs and organizations, you're starting your own clubs and organizations. You are having internships, and you're looking forward to your futures, whether it be working in a congressional office or being a PA or going to be a teacher and then on to graduate school or whatever it might be. So you are, again, you're why we're here. You give us hope, especially in these times when it's a little difficult now and then to hear news and hear some negative sorts of things. You give all of us hope, and you remind us of the best part of the United States of America and the best part of our jobs and our lives. So thank you for that. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for being part of the Mustang family, and thank you for everything you do to make all this possible for all of us. Thank you so much. This concludes our luncheon today. I hope you meet more people as you mill around and talk. I hope you also learn about some more Southwest stories. And the last thing I'll ask you to do is tell your stories. Tell your story. Share what you learned today with your neighbors, your friends, your relatives. And also tell your own Southwest story and spread this information far and wide so that even more students will call us home in the future. Thank you very much.